wonderful morning to our esteemed viewers and welcome to the Advent Cable Network Nigeria. This is now streaming your favorite morning talk show where we discuss trending news and discuss on burning issues that affect our daily lives. I am Rachel Igun. And I have with me this morning in the studio Mr. Benson Agbos. He is a financial, hospitality and tourism expert. You're welcome to the show this morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, sir.
And God bless you.
Bless you too, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. The President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, on Thursday, the 7th of October 2021, at the joint session of the National Assembly, presented the 2022 budget tagged Budget of Economic Growth and Sustainability, which was estimated at 16.39 trillion naira. Then, on Thursday, 30th December 2021, President Buhari signed the 2022 budget 2 weeks after the Senate and the House of Representatives passed the appropriation bill presented by the President to them a few weeks earlier. The signed budget was estimated at 17.1 trillion naira as against the one presented to the Joint House by the President. What led to the rise of the amount budgeted for 2022 by the President? Who added the figures and from which ministry or agency was it done? How will the budget be funded? These are other questions we will be addressing in the course of the discussion as our guests will be taking us on the topic, 2022 Budget and Review. Still with me in the studio is Mr. Benson Agbos. Thank you for still being with us.
Thank you once more.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is one of the pressing issue that has been going on in the minds of the citizens and everybody in the country. The budget has been passed into law. So can you tell us something about the quick passage of the, I would say it was passed like early enough. What can you say about that?
You see, you cannot stop people from talking. You know, if you reverse the hands of the clock, meaning that, okay, up to now, the president have not signed the budget in March, in this budget for 2022 has not been signed, maybe till May. That is our past experience.
Sure.
You understand? Maybe 5 months to the new year before they sign the budget. So I cannot say that it is a quick passage of the budget.
Okay.
Because number one, the House of Rep and the Senate, the budget passed, the appropriation passed through them. It passed through their houses and they worked on them.
Sure.
You understand? And now is September 1st September 2021, they were able to, they request ministries like the Chief of Staff, the Deputy Chief of Staff, the Honorable Minister, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, all Civil Chiefs and the Inspector General of Police, all chairmen of commissions and all parastatals to submit their estimated budget for the financial year. When they submit this their expected budget, it will go through the House of Rep, and the House of Rep will pass it to the House of Senate, which will take final decision on it. And you could imagine the number of senators we have in the House and House of Rep. You understand? So for such appropriation to have gone through House of Rep and House of Senate, and then finally the two houses have ascertained that they are satisfied that is okay. The budget is now ready for the president to sign. I don't see somebody using a quick passage of the budget.
Okay.
Because budget take processes, like I said, the submission of the appropriation, the collation, the calculation, the allocation to individual budget item. You understand? From revenue to recurrent expenditure, and finally the capital budget, and also the appropriation of the reserve foreign reserve. All these ones are put into consideration. It's not a day job. It's not a week job.
But maybe what this particular person is saying is, considering the previous administration, you find out that, okay, we're into the very year you're passing the budget before it's been passed into, I guess this is where the person is coming from. That is, this very one was passed early, not considering the factors, the processes that it has to go through, but considering the previous administration, this was early enough.
I said, previously, this is 2022. It will be around May.
That is when
they will now pass the budget
of that very year.
Meaning that we have run into 5 months ahead. Do you understand? How do you think that these ministries will function? These parastatals will function. Do you understand? So we must able to wake up and do things at the appropriate time. We must not return to our vomit. When people do something very well, we should be able to applaud them and to give them support. It's not everything we criticize. You understand? It's not everything we criticize.
Brings me to
and let me add, the budget is the financial instrument. It's a financial document of Federal Republic of Nigeria, which can be referred to at any point of view by the judiciary, by the lawmakers, and by the executive. So it's something that will guide the entire nation. It's not individual budget. So for the budget to have been passed at this point, no matter what it is that we have something to guide us. If the person is talking about the efficiency and the attention into the budget, it's a different thing entirely. But when the budget appropriation has been completed by both houses, I think, and professionally, it is adequate.
Okay, viewers, do call in, share your thoughts and your comments on the topic for discussion this morning. Our next question, will you say that the budget breakdown is justified compared to the previous ones presented by this government, and how they have been managed? Have they been managed well?
The previous, in a budget preparation, they cannot be the same.
Okay.
Budget in 1970 cannot be the same with the one in 1971, 72, and okay, let's pick at random 83. You cannot compare a national budget of 1983 with the one in 1990. You understand? Because in the course of preparing a budget, there are some factors you put into consideration. Because the number one, your national factors, that is the country itself, and then the global factor. Because even as you carry out your budget, it has a link with the other international community or countries. For instance, we talk about dollars now. If you want to do anything outside Nigeria, in fact, most of the country, they use dollar as a currency pair. So you must factor all these key variables into your budget. And again, number two, we talk about inflationary rates. Inflation is not fixed. Inflation is not fixed. So year by year, inflation tends to rise because of other key variables we cannot discuss now. So we must put inflation into consideration. Understand? So the budget cannot be the same. But the issue is that whatever figure we are seeing at the budget is the benefit we drive from it that will determine the increase or decrease in the budget. But so far so good. When we talk about the management of the budget, I cannot say that the previous government has failed, neither the current government has failed, because we cannot say overall the budget have not done anything, which is not going to be correct. But we are looking at maximizing the budget item and allocation. You understand? It's not issue of a budget paper like this. We are talking about, for instance, the capital project. If you want to travel, the road should be good. If you travel within Abuja metropolis, the road is good. But if you go outside Abuja, you see, it's another experience entirely. And the budget has connection with all this bad road we are passing through. So that is where the management, I'm not satisfied with the management. You understand? Because if our lawmakers and executive are managing our budget very well, our roads supposed to be network, supposed to be functional and good and motorable. Again, our industry supposed to grow. Even if it is it's supposed to grow at the level we have attained in Nigeria now, our industry is supposed to grow at geometric rate, because we have available resources. We have the land where industry can be sited. We have the raw material. We have even people that can, who have the experience. It's all about organizing and management. I know organization is also a function of management. So it is where the budget is not properly managed, because it's the efficiency of allocation of budget money into the individual sector of the economy. You understand? Where you can, go to, you want to travel, you can travel. If you want to pay school fees, it is very easy for you. If you want to, pipe-borne water, it's very close to you. I'll give you a typical example. In Nigeria, we have water abound. Go to, I take you a Benue State, for instance, or all the states that have rivers. And if you go to their state capitals, you will not see pipe-borne water. Is the governor or the statutory allocation, are they not collecting it? So in the state capital, you don't have pipe-borne water. You don't even have a street electricity. Understand? You will see it for some kilometer, the thing will just disappear. You go into darkness. So
we have a caller.
The management,
we have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. This is Pastor David.
Welcome, Pastor David.
Okay. Actually, I want to appreciate our past financial this year and the entire management of the television. God will to appreciate the work, good work to development of society.
Amen.
Actually, I want to commend the guest of the studio there. It was a very important comment that I appreciated. That as citizens, we don't criticize if there's an area of comment. Those people who take blame, commend it. So I appreciate that comment. So I just want to use this opportunity to call on both Nigerian sentinel. It's time for us to write something to appreciate whatever little the players are able to contribute to the society in the reality. Because some people stand up to criticize. Sometimes you discover when we find ourselves, it's possible we do worse and hope that we have. So I appreciate it. And having said that, I want to go into the issue of that is
Thank you for your contribution, sir. So we go to the next question. I'll merge these two together. With the padding in the budget, how credible can you say the process is, and what should Nigerians be looking out for? The next question, is it enough for the National Assembly to allege padding without identifying the culpable officers involved and sanctioned? You know this thing happened. Are we just going to keep mum without saying anything? And how credible is it?
You see, the National Assembly, that is our lawmakers, for the appropriation bill to have passed through the lower house and the upper house, and they don't either they are saying it's whether oversight or whatever, padding or whatever. That means it is unprofessional.
Sure.
Meaning that there is lapses. They don't know their work. Yes, they don't know their work, because if you say the bill passed through your table, it passed through the segment of committee in the Senate. Then the same people are coming out that the budget is being padded. I disagree with them, number one. Number two, they are not doing their work, because the budget is not only for them. I have the right to benefit from the budget.
But
you have the right to benefit from the budget.
The president. He was the one who said the budget was
the president.
The president.
Okay, yes. Fine. Now, if the lawmaker have made they have done their work and they've passed the bill to the president. If the president discover that, okay, let's look at a topical of 2022 budget. Let's look at maybe the capital budget, capital expenditure, which is 4.89 trillion, which give rise to minus 2%. So if the president look at a budget item and see the percentage accrued to it, either low or higher, or positive or negative, you should be able to say, okay, what happened here? Last year we have this one, we had this one, and we couldn't utilize the appropriation. Why is it that there's increase here? Okay, last year we were able to complete this project. Why are you making additional provision for it in the budget? So it is the duty of the president to look at the budget, the appropriation, before he signs.
Okay.
You understand? As at that point, the president will return it to the National Assembly that I cannot consent and I cannot sign this appropriation for my country, Nigeria. That is where the issue of patriotism comes in. That is where the oath they took when they were elected, you understand, comes to play. So if
that means you went ahead and signed the bill, knowing fully well that it was padded.
If he observed that it's being padded,
or he didn't really go through it,
he's supposed to return it to the National Assembly for review. That is what the president is supposed to do. And again, in law, what the president did is we call it past consideration. I'm not a lawyer. You have signed something and you are coming back to say that there is a fault in this thing, meaning that there was an offer and there was an acceptance. For him to affix his signature into the appropriation bill for 2022, it means that whatever he says after he has signed has nothing impact on the budget. Yes.
Okay. So we move to this next question. With the revenue we have on ground, financing the budget is unrealistic. This brings to mind that we have to borrow. We've been borrowing and we are still borrowing. And we're borrowing now to finance the budget. What are the dangers involved in borrowing to finance the budget?
You see, first, there's nothing wrong in borrowing.
Okay.
Natural borrowing, meaning that you will repay back. But before you repay back, you should be able to calculate how much is going to, what you borrow is going to bring to your business. In terms of business, you understand? So now, if you look at the deficit in budget, we have surplus budget. It's one of the type of budget. We have a deficit budget, and you can see from 2022 appropriation, we have a deficit of 6.26 trillion. Understand? That means that it's going to be a debt on the nation. So the third part of the budget is the balanced budget. Okay. We have surplus budget, deficit budget, and then the balanced budget. Balanced budget is where both revenue and expenditure equal together mathematically. Okay. Then the deficit is where the expenditure oversize the revenue. And that is what we are having in 2022 budget, for a deficit of 6.2 trillion deficit, meaning that the revenue capacity cannot carry the expenses. And that is where the lawmakers should be able to look at it. If we are having a revenue of maybe 10 trillion, and we are having expenditure of deficit of 6.26 trillion. How are we, this money, if we borrow it, the deficit, and you spread it, where, which sector of the economy are we going to invest this 6.2 trillion to enable us to return, to pay our loan, and then also to service the loan capital and the interest. And then the third factor of it is that now, if we have invested this 6.26 trillion into a capital project in the next 1 year, we should be able to recoup the capital and the interest, and then the asset belongs to us, and the subsequent year it will be generating revenue for us. Do you understand? So really borrowing money is not wrong, but if you don't utilize it, that is where we have problem. Understand? And so with this deficit budget, if they follow the budget item, like the one of this thing we have here is the benchmark for oil price is $40, $57. 2021 was $40. You understand? And which give rise to 43% of what the budget we have now. Meaning that the per barrel is going to be $57. Understand? So crude oil is part of the one of the revenue. What other revenue item they have refused to put here? These are questions they should be able to review the past budget with the current budget. Okay, this brings me to this next question. As a financial expert, what do you think is lacking in the budget, 2022 appropriation budget, and what should Nigerians expect from the outcome? Yes, what is lacking is the budget item, the revenue item. They should be able to explore new ground, not just oil. What if the oil, we don't have oil in this country? We will not survive. They should be able to explore new ground. You understand? In agriculture, in technology and computers. I want to say this. In the next 10 years, all the graduates that are parading, no work, no job. If you don't have computer education, I'm afraid for you. So they should be able to explore all this area. You understand? Agriculture, technology, even film industry. China, India have grown their film industry to the height. That is what you watch on a Z World. And it's annual, in fact, it's monthly subscription. Sure. You understand? You have that one in your house. I have too. So they have it in their country, but because of digitalization, we should be able to. We are paying heavily for it. We are paying heavily for it, and it's part of their revenue. So they look at what of tourism. What of tourism? Okay, they look at. Let me show you capital expenditure on the budget item appropriation budget 2022. Capital expenditure in 2021 we have 4.98 trillion. Now to this 2022 we have 4.89 trillion, meaning that there is reduction. That's why we have -2%. Okay. Meaning that they've not even given a capital budget, capital expenditure item a good attention. Is part of one of my observations, because this overhead, most of their budget items are overhead. And where you begin to spend, you pay salary, and people are just passing ordinary fine. They can't produce big. They can't produce razor. They can't produce this one. They can't produce one.
Toothpick.
How do you recoup the deficit you are looking at now? How do you recoup the money back? So if the capital, a whole nation, you are having, they don't give capital project this thing. And that is where we're having problem. We're having problem because they allocate huge sum of money to recurrent expenditure where they can easily say, okay, want to travel to UK, want to go for medical, want to go this one, they want to launch it, they want to flag this one. You see, flagging all this one is not too important. You understand? Okay, now let me tell you, as big as Oyo State, how many? We don't even have a good functional airport in Oyo State. It's one of the old states among the 12, then among the 19 states states in Nigeria.
We are running out of time. Please, your final word.
So my final word is that the budget, as it is now, it has been passed into law. Okay. And we enjoin all the arms of the government to let every hand be on deck and to ensure that the budget is properly executed, because it is the management of the budget that is where we have been having issue. And again, people should be patriotic, you understand, in terms of implementation of the budget regarding the oath they've taken. The judiciary, the legislature, and the executive is not taking Quran and taking Bible, and you are doing another different thing. It will not help the budget performance. And then again, there must be a budget performance. You understand? Matching revenue with expenditure will give rise to variance. We should be able to know where we have lapses and where to make an adjustment, and it will help us in a long way. Okay. And then the federal government should give attention to the youth development program, because the youth is the hub between the young people and then the old people that are at the middle. So when the youth they have a sustainable program for the youth, definitely unemployment will reduce, and crime and insecurity will drastically drop.
Thank you very much. Again, we can't take more again. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes.
We appreciate your coming. Okay, that is it. This is where we end it. We also advise the government to do what is needful. The budget has been passed into. Whatever needs to be done should be done, so that we don't keep borrowing and borrowing, despite the fact that it's not bad borrowing. Let's put it into something that will bring up a revenue for the country. And also to the National Assembly, they should do what is needful, considering the padding, the necessary actions to be taken. Who is involved should be sanctioned. So a big thank you to our phenomenal crew and to our viewers. You are amazing. Thank you for allowing us a bit of your morning. It's pre-election year. Do you have your voter's card? If not, please do get it. Your vote counts. Get informed on how the electoral process works. The decision process is our collective responsibility. Now more than ever, we need to speak up against wrong. If you see something, say something to the appropriate authorities. Most importantly, do not forget that God is our ultimate protector, and we should all put our trust in Him alone. Do have a wonderful day. I am Rachel Ibunu.